Homebuilding stocks actually tanked this week. When I see all of these tweets, when I see the nerves, and when I talk to people, a lot of anecdotes, it doesn't feel positive in the housing market. And so I'm asking myself, am I crazy? I think I know what's going on. And it came from a comment from you all in my last video where someone said, aside from the Palisades buyers in very wealthy areas, it seems like Nashville overall, especially Davidson, is losing value. And the only areas which are having more sales are the areas which prices have corrected. Is it possible that a lot of those increases are coming from price drops? Now, this is really weird because when you look at prices in aggregate, if you just take Greater Nashville and you say, well, what's the median price? The median price, it has dropped, but it's dropping very seasonally normally, and it's dropping at a higher place than it was a year ago. In other words, prices are still up. Greater Nashville Realtors, if you get my Substack, you can see that I posted this before them, but they posted $490 for January, which is absurd. It's insane that the median price in January was $490,000 for a single family home. But now here's the kicker. Could prices be dropping while the median price stays up? We're going to look at individual neighborhoods shortly, but first I want to get back to why the home builders were dropping so much. What could be behind home builders' stock prices? So I created this. Thank you, ChatGPT, for helping me create this. This is just a 31-day contract volume from the same day of the week in February from 2023, 2024, 2025. 2023, we bounced back, recovered very quickly from 2022. I thought we were going to have a crash. We were for sure going to have a crash. The Fed came in, started not printing money, and all of a sudden everything went back up as they expanded their balance sheet. 2023, I just put on here for context, but 2024, 2,600 under contract. This includes condos, townhouses, and single family. Now, when we click on single family, which actually technically includes the HPR attached, which is like a townhouse, but we get 2,177 and 2,174. We're basically back to flat, which remember, this was down 15%. We're back to flat here. But here's where it gets interesting. When I click on the building type and I click on new, what we see is that new builds have been dropping for the past 3 years. And in fact, in 2025, only 569 of the contracts are actually new versus 653 last year. So keep that in mind. Even though contracts are even, new builds are losing a ton of market share to existing homes. We're starting to see existing really compete. In fact, existing is essentially up where new builds are off. How do they compete with new builds? They have to drop their price. They can't compete because new builds have been giving away margin and buying down rates. So I wonder if this is what's driving. Remember my neighborhood tracker. Let's go to this. And you can see all the blue, which by the way, look at how local housing is. Look at how local housing is. It's so important. Everybody wants to measure median sales price. And look, I get it. I understand why. Rising tide lifts all boats. If prices are going up, it's going up everywhere. But the point is here is that the areas that are blue are fewer contracts. The areas that are red are more contracts. And we can see that even though contracts are flat, there are hot areas and there are cold areas. There are hot neighborhoods and there are cold neighborhoods. Let's take a look at a couple of other ones and see, like, is it the neighborhood prices dropping? Here's one, Sylvan Heights. This is an older neighborhood. It does have a lot of new builds in it, but it's an older neighborhood. Where are you at, Sylvan? Okay, there you are. Let's see here, 19 active listings, contract 7. That gives an active ratio of about 2.5 when really the inventory is 5. So this actually feels hotter than a lot of the close volume last year. That tells me that the trend is hot right over here. Okay, let's see here, 436 at peak. It's dropped quite a bit from the quarterly peak. You can see, I think its prices are dropping. Look, do you see how the lows are getting lower? You've got lows lower. You've got highs that are lower. Let's actually see if there's new builds in here. I guess there is quite a bit now. This high is 478. I mean, these are $2 million, $1 and $2 million. Wow, it's getting expensive over there. Let's look at sales price. Wow, $1.5 million. I just can't believe it. I can't believe some of these. It's not what I would have thought. Townhouses are still, I mean, they're getting 1 million. Wow. Wow. I mean, look, there's a lot of people, there's return to office. I kind of wonder if that's doing it. These condos were a disaster for a long time. Look at this. Why does this say there's 14 active listings, 0 under contract? Oh, there's 0 under contract, so it's tagging it as red because it can't divide by 0. This should definitely be hard green. This is a disaster. I got to fix that. You can't do a price chart if there's nothing happening. Anyways, let's do this Wallace. It's right by the zoo. That's a pretty developed area. Let's see if that's it. I think, yeah, look at that year over year. Look at the price change. Year over year down 5%, 17. The areas that have had the, okay, so let's just go up. Let's go up 1 because that one's cooler. Mills Park is a little bit more chill. Let's just see. Mills Park is chill, and look at that. Price is up. Where the prices are down, where people are giving up on price, that is where we're seeing volume. Now, is that going to translate? Here's the question I have. Is that going to translate into a median price drop across Nashville? If this is happening all over, which I think that's what's happening, is there's a lot of neighborhoods dropping in price. New builds are having a hard time competing. That's why the new build contract volume is down. And look at this one. Let's see Riverbrook, because that's right next to, if we look at the price trend, Villages of Riverwood, price trend down 5%. And then we look at Riverbrook, it's flat. That's actually, look at that gross yield, 8.1%. That's actually a pretty good ratio. That's actually a good area to look at investing in. Look at that. Tops have been dropping though. Bottoms are flat. What's going on here? Actually, I know what's going on here. I think they just built a ton of stuff over here. Let's see. Yeah. Take out the new builds. Well, there's still a lot, but there's also a lot of new builds there. I don't know. What do you guys see? What do y'all see out there? Do you think that's what's going on? Do you think prices are actually dropping right now? Oh, yeah. Morton Mill. Go back to Morton Mill. In the areas where prices were up, Morton Mill was up. Look, contracts are down. And it's not like there's not active listings there. There's 9. So they have supply. So contracts aren't down because of supply. I'll let you guys decide. You tell me in the comments. Is that what's going on here? Is that why builders are down in the doldrums? They're having a harder time competing with existing. And so we've got transaction volume dropping. But transaction volume overall is not dropping. We could be seeing price drops in neighborhoods that's pushing volume, making it more affordable. It just doesn't feel like it's that much more affordable, if I'm being honest. So look at that. Williamson County up 9% year over year. Crazy. It's just in front of the ramp there. So I don't know if that's a true 9%, but I would really like your feedback because I'm feeling crazy. Tell me I'm crazy. I'm not offended. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. And with that, I hope you all have a great rest of your weekend. I look forward to seeing you next Saturday. Thanks a lot.